My beloved child, stop everything you're doing right now. There's something I need to say to your heart, and it cannot wait. Yes, you. You who feel the ache so deep in your soul that no one else seems to notice. The weight you carry. I see it. The silence you've tried to fill with distractions. I know it. You've been trying to hold yourself together while everything around you has been falling apart. You smile in front of others, but when you're alone, it's different. You replay every moment. You whisper prayers through tears. And lately, you've started to wonder if I even heard them at all. Child, I did. I was there when the doors shut in your face. I was there when the person you loved walked away. I was there when you sat in the dark, feeling like even hope had left. I was not far. I was not unaware. I never turned my face from you. You see loss, but I see a beginning. You see empty hands, but I see the space where I'm about to pour more than you imagined. You don't have to understand everything right now. But please, don't believe the lie that I've forgotten you. There was never a moment when I stopped watching over you. Even when the world seemed to move on. I was sitting beside you, collecting every tear. Let me ask you something, child. Have you ever felt like you're walking through life, but your soul is still back at the place where everything fell apart? That one moment, that break, that goodbye, that diagnosis, that mistake. It froze something in you. But I did not leave you there. I stayed. I carried your spirit through even when your body kept walking. You say, but God, I've lost too much. And I say to you, I am the restorer. I do not just return what was taken, I make it new. I turn graves into gardens. I turn mourning into dancing. What you think is over, I call the beginning. I know you feel forgotten. I know the enemy has whispered that your story is finished. But beloved, your story is still being written. I am the author. And I do not close the book when chapters get dark. I write light into the pages. I write redemption into pain. Yes, the pain was real. I will not minimize it. You lost things that mattered. People. Opportunities. Peace. But I want you to know, I saw it all. Every time you whispered, God, why? Every time you waited and no answer came. I was not ignoring you. I was preparing the soil. There are seeds in your tears. There is purpose in what was taken. And there is still a harvest to come. You think it's too late. But what if I told you that I allowed the delay not to punish you, but to protect you? What if I told you I've been setting things in motion behind the scenes, things you'd never believe if I showed them to you all at once? I know it feels like everything you built was shattered. But what if the foundation wasn't strong enough for what I'm about to do next? What if I had to allow the breaking to make room for blessing? Beloved, this is not the end of your story. This is where I begin the restoration. So breathe. Let go of the belief that it's over. Stop rehearsing the pain. Lay down the weight of, what if? Give me your broken pieces. Let me hold the parts of you you're afraid to show anyone. I am not ashamed of your weakness. I'm not disappointed in your tears. I am near to the broken-hearted. I am the one who binds up the wounded. I am the healer of unseen scars. This is your moment, not to be strong, but to surrender. And in your surrender, I will show you what true strength looks like. Right now, I want you to do something for me. Before you keep scrolling. Before the distractions come again. Find a piece of paper. Write down 3 things you feel you've lost. Be honest. Be raw. And then, under each one, I want you to write, God is not done. Because I'm not. And this is not the end. This is only the beginning. You may not see the way forward yet. But I've already cleared the path. And with every step you take, you are not walking alone. I'm here. I always have been. I always will be. Now, take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart. Say these words with me: God, I trust you. Even in this. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to know, I do. And I will restore what was lost. Let this truth settle in your soul. Let it wrap around your mind like a blanket of peace. Don't rush past this moment. Let me speak deeper. Because in part 2, I will show you what I've been doing in the silence. What you thought was abandonment, was actually preparation. What felt like delay, was divine design. Stay close, beloved. I'm not done speaking. I'm not done healing. I'm not done restoring. Have you ever felt like your prayers were just bouncing off the ceiling? Like you kept pouring your heart out to me, but the heavens stayed silent? I know, child. I know how tired you've been of hoping. I've heard you whisper, God, where are you? And maybe you've started to wonder if I've turned my face away. Maybe you think I've forgotten what you asked for. But listen to me now, because I want to speak into that silence. I never stopped listening. And I never stopped working. Do you remember that night you cried yourself to sleep, thinking no one saw you? I was there, my presence surrounded you even when you couldn't feel it. Do you remember the morning you woke up heavy, unsure how you'd make it through the day? It was my strength that got you out of bed. My breath in your lungs. My hand on your shoulder. You didn't see me, but I was holding you. Every moment you felt invisible to the world, you were fully seen by heaven. Let me tell you about a man I once lifted up. He lost everything in one night: his job, his marriage, even his health began to fail. And with trembling hands, he wrote in his journal, God, are you still with me? That night, I sent a stranger to pay his rent. The next week, a job offer came that he never applied for. And slowly, quietly, I rebuilt the life he thought was over. Not the same life. A better one. Full of peace. Full of purpose. But first, I needed to teach him to trust me in the waiting. Child, I am teaching you the same thing now. Waiting is not wasted. Do you hear me? Waiting is not punishment. It is protection. It is preparation. You think I've been still. But I've been setting things in motion in places you cannot see. Behind doors you didn't know existed. Conversations you were not a part of. Hearts I've been softening. Opportunities I've been aligning. And timing, divine timing, I've been orchestrating with perfection. The waiting room is not a prison. It is a place of transformation. Look again, child. Look closer. You're not stuck. You're being strengthened. Do you remember Joseph? Thrown into a pit by his own brothers. Sold like a stranger. Forgotten in a prison cell. For years, it looked like I had abandoned him. But while Joseph waited, I was building a platform. While he prayed in the dark, I was shaping his destiny. Until the day came when I lifted him up and gave him authority, not just for himself, but to save a nation. And you, child, you carry greatness inside you too. But I must prepare your heart before I place the crown. I must deepen your character before I deliver the calling. The blessing you ask for, I want it to last. So I prepare the foundation. I make sure the roots go deep, so the winds won't tear you down when the rains fall. But I know, you're tired. So let me speak something directly to your soul. I am closer than your breath. I am moving even when you feel still. And no, I have not forgotten your prayer. Every prayer you've whispered has been gathered. Every tear, stored like precious oil. And child, not one of them has been ignored. I'm building something eternal in you. I'm not just restoring what you lost, I'm restoring who you are. You've been asking me to bring back the job, the friend, the joy. But I'm reaching even deeper than that. I'm restoring your belief, your identity, your peace. Because what good is a blessing if your soul still feels broken? So now, here's what I want you to do. Every morning for the next 7 days, before the world speaks to you, let me speak first. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. Put your hand on your heart. And ask me, God, what are you doing in me today? Then write down whatever comes. It might be one word. It might be a picture. Trust that it's me. I'm teaching you to recognize my voice again. I know the silence felt long. But silence doesn't mean absence. In fact, it often means something sacred is forming. When seeds are planted, they disappear beneath the soil. For a while, it looks like nothing is happening. But in the hidden, the miracle begins. That's where you are right now. The hidden. The forming. The sacred middle. But hear this, the breaking season is not your final chapter. Restoration is on the other side of this. I am the God who restores years. The God who heals what medicine could not. Who mends what the world said was too far gone. Who resurrects what others buried. So lift your head, even if it shakes. Take one more step forward, even if it's slow. Because what I'm about to do in your life will make sense of every night you cried yourself to sleep. The testimony I'm writing with your life will speak louder than the pain ever did. Yes, I know you've lost some things. But child, what if you've been praying for me to restore what you had, when I'm about to give you more than you imagined? Don't limit me to your past. I'm not taking you backward. I'm doing a new thing. Something beautiful. Something sacred. And right now, I'm inviting you to believe again. Even if it's just a flicker of faith, give it to me. That flicker is enough for me to breathe on. That mustard seed is enough for me to move mountains. Here's your next step. Every time a memory of what you lost tries to break you, write down a promise I've made. Not the feeling. The promise. Keep them by your bed. Read one every night. Because my promises are not suggestions. They are declarations. And I fulfill every word I speak. Child, the silence is not forever. The delay is not your denial. And this moment you're living now, it is holy. Because I'm here in it. Working. Weaving. Healing. Restoring. And if you stay close, if you keep trusting me through the unknown, what I bring next will not just be enough. It will be more than you could ask or imagine. So hold on, beloved. Hold on a little longer. Because in part 3, I will show you how restoration unfolds. And how the very place you were broken will become the place others come to be healed. I'm not just writing your comeback. I'm preparing you to carry my glory. This is your turning point. And I'm just getting started. You're still here. And that matters. You didn't give up. You didn't walk away, even when it hurt. Even when your heart begged you to shut down, disappear, forget everything. You stayed. And I want you to know, that choice did not go unnoticed in heaven. Child, look at me now. What you thought would destroy you, I'm about to use it to deliver you. What you believed was your ending, is actually the door to your beginning. You may not feel whole yet. You may still be grieving what was lost. But I, your Father, am speaking life over every piece of you. I'm not just restoring the obvious things. I'm restoring the hidden ones. Your trust. Your laughter. Your confidence. Your voice. You thought the battle was about losing a relationship, a job, your health. But the real battle was for your belief in me. And you made it. Yes, with scars. Yes, with nights that made you question everything. But even that was part of the miracle, because you never let go of me. Now listen closely. The time of restoration is not coming, it has begun. I am not preparing to heal you. I am healing you. Right now. As you listen. As you breathe. As your heart opens. This is not just a message to make you feel better. This is a shift in your spirit. This is the moment the tide turns. Not someday. Not eventually. Now. I want you to do something real. Look at your hands. They may feel empty. But I say to you, I am placing restoration in them. Open your palms. Receive it. Feel that breath you just took. That was grace. That was a second chance. That was me saying, there's more. And here are 3 things I want you to remember and practice, not just believe, but live. First, speak the opposite of your fear. Every day, speak restoration. When fear says, it's over, say, God is rebuilding. When the enemy whispers, you've lost too much, declare, nothing is too lost for God to restore. Write it. Say it. Live it. Your words will shape what you walk into. Second, take one healing action each day. Just one. Maybe it's journaling one thing you still believe. Maybe it's praying for someone who hurt you. Maybe it's forgiving yourself. I want you to choose one thing each day that aligns your life with the truth that I am making all things new. Small steps are sacred when they're led by faith. Third, don't walk alone. Healing isn't meant to be a secret journey. Share what I'm doing in you. With one person. One prayer partner. Even one comment on this video. Let restoration move through community. Because the testimony you carry may be the confirmation someone else is begging me for. Child, I am not only healing you. I am positioning you to bring healing to others. That's what restoration does. It turns wounds into wisdom. It turns your valley into a voice. You are not just someone who made it through. You are someone I am raising up to remind others that no loss is final when I'm involved. You know, there was a woman who thought everything in her life was over. She lost her marriage. Her job. Her home. She sat in her car one night, holding a Bible in one hand and tears in the other. And she said, God, if you're real, speak to me. That night, someone sent her a video. It wasn't fancy. Just a voice saying, God hasn't left you. He's restoring you. She watched it on repeat for days. It gave her just enough hope to try again. She started praying. Forgiving. Dreaming. And 5 years later, she runs a nonprofit helping women find their worth in me. What changed? She believed me. And child, you can too. I didn't give her back the exact things she lost. I gave her better. And I'm going to do the same for you. This is the season where your hands rebuild what was broken. This is the season where your voice speaks not from pain, but from purpose. And if your soul still whispers, but what if it happens again? I want you to remember this, I am not just your restorer. I am your refuge. I do not just bring you blessings, I surround you with protection. Nothing touches you unless it passes through my love first. Now, take this final step with me. Close your eyes. Put one hand on your heart. Whisper this, God, I receive restoration. I release the pain. I trust you with the next chapter. Now pause. Let silence settle. Let my spirit wrap around your soul. The winds are shifting. The tears are turning to testimony. The pain is turning into purpose. This is your turning point. This is where things begin again, not by your strength, but by my spirit. Child, if this message touched something deep in you, it wasn't an accident. It was me. I brought you here, because I'm not done. Don't let this just be a video. Let it be your moment. Write down one thing I said that stayed with you. Post it where you can see it every morning. Share it with someone who needs to hear the same truth. And if you believe it, type Amen in the comments. Let faith arise in this space. Let restoration begin. Because I am the God who restores. And I have chosen you, not just to be healed, but to be whole. Now go, my beloved. And walk like someone whose story isn't over, but has just begun.